Hi everyone, it's Dr. Lynn here. I'm going to be talking to you about healing burnout from the body, spirit, and environmental level. And why this is so important to me now is because there's this call to bring us back into the body. There's this massive movement to return to nourishing the body at the deepest levels. I was once very burnt out and extremely disconnected from my purpose. I was disconnected to what I truly wanted to do, who I truly was, and that power and motivation to be able to express that to others in my world, to my relationships. And I was working at a corporate job that was completely the opposite, 180 from what I am doing as a doctor of Chinese medicine. And I had taken on stories and expectations of what people wanted from me. I wanted to blend in. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to do the right thing and to do the rational thing that was taking me away from my authentic self. I had to learn that the hard way. And eventually that led me to burning out. I definitely struggled with feeling overwhelmed, stressed. I felt a lot of built up tension and pain and aches and anger in my body. And along with that, I felt very disconnected from my community. And so it was sort of this full body, right? And my spirit was burnt out. And also environmentally, I was seeing around me that I was not being nourished by my environment. So I wanted to create the burnout recovery, and this is going to be a short workshop about what it means to heal burnout from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, along with an East and West meets approach. So, this is important, and I feel like this is what people need nowadays because burnout is so real. In traditional Chinese medicine, we say burnout would be almost equivalent to yin deficiency and blood deficiency. So, in traditional Chinese medicine, we say that yin and blood are extremely important. We often talk about qi and life force energy and how qi is so important in the body because it is. It's the vital energy that's going to move and animate all things, right? It's going to be the energy that you use throughout your day. But yin and blood are the necessary substance that you need in order to move that qi, in order for qi to even exist, because you need both the sun and the water to create a plant. We're just like plants. We need the sun, we need the chi, that sort of vital life force energy that's invisible, that helps us have energy throughout the day. We also need water, we need nutrients, we need good foods, we need really good nourishing exercise, and all of those things to really help us and help the body. On another level, blood and yin are also going to talk about the spirit. So, in traditional Chinese medicine, the blood holds our emotions, it holds our sense of consciousness. So when we don't have enough blood or yin in the body, when we're blood deficient or yin deficient, then our emotions, we're not going to have so much control of our emotions. We're not going to feel as grounded. We're not going to feel as clear minded or be able to concentrate or focus very easily. We're also going to be a little bit less resilient in terms of emotions. We're not going to be as smooth with our emotions. So when, let's just say, if you have a menstrual cycle, when that time comes for your menses to come, you might experience PMS because you don't have enough blood or yin to carry your emotions, to help bring some cushion to the emotions that you might feel that might pop up during that time or during the time the week before your period. And so our yin and our blood helps to nourish and moisten and just create boundaries for what we're experiencing, for our emotional world, for our mental world as well. Um, and then on a environmental level, when we look at the earth and we think about yin and blood, we can literally think about the rivers, the lakes, the sea, the water, the rain. And so why is yin and blood vital to the rivers, water, rain, oceans? Because it nourishes plants, it nourishes the food that we eat. It's needed for our land to be regenerative and to be nourished from within. And so we need water, or across our body and the earth stays in drought and it stays in that burnout. So, how burnout drains yin. How does that happen? How does burnout happen? And how does yin deficiency even connect to that? How does yin deficiency how does yin deficiency even connect to that? Yin deficiency is a TCM, a traditional Chinese medicine pattern that we say disconnects and is literally a T pattern where yin is literally deficient in the body when there's not enough water, there's not enough blood, fluids to kind of keep us moistened, hydrated, feeling more resilient, feeling more connected to our sense of grounding, our sense of clarity, our sense of connected to ourselves and our purpose and our creativity. When we don't have that yin, what happens is the opposite energy rises and it increases, and sometimes it can go over threshold and become excessive. So yang grows, and then yang will eventually cause burnout to the system. It can cause a hyper yang sort of state in the body where we're driven by cortisol and stress, where we're constantly going, we're overproductive, when we're forgetting and neglecting our sense of self-care. That is seriously when burnout is happening. We're on that thin amount of yin and we're just going from that yang energy. That's when burnout happens. When we go too much into the yang, that's when burnout happens. It drains yin and it drains our sense of being able to have slowness,